So what you want to do is bring the rater to the knowledge level where you are. You're going to do your personal statement as the cornerstone of your claim. That's going to tell you this is how the problem was created. This is how I've been treated for it. These are the symptoms for it. And then this is how it affects my personal lifestyle. So I have a guy who claimed a broken toe due to secondary to sleep apnea. When I stopped laughing, I said, well, maybe I need to look at the evidence. So I looked at the evidence, and he has documented by the doctor saying that not only does this guy have hypersomnolence or, sleepy during the day, but it throws his balance off. Okay, so I have a documented evidence from the doctor. So this guy is sleeping at night. It just drifted off to sleep. Wife hears a noise, and of course, the man's job is to go down and investigate the noise. So as he gets up and he's going around the bed, he kicks the bedpost and broke his toe. And they actually had to put rods in to, heal the break. So he's had surgery on it. Okay. Well, that makes sense. And the evidence shows that, yes, it was clearly secondary to his sleep apnea problem.
Right.
So that's why you need to provide this evidence, because something that may not be clear may all of a sudden go, oh, that makes sense.
Right. So that your personal statement provides the clarity that may be in the medical record or may not be in the medical record, but it brings you to where they are. It brings you as the rater to what really happened.
So back in, I want to say 1980s, there was a fire at the record center in St. Louis. And of course, the fire department comes and they put the fire out with what? Water. What does water do to paper? Turns it into sludge. So there's a whole bunch of veterans that have 10 years worth of records that are just destroyed.
Right.
So now how do they prove it? Through the other evidence.
Got it.
Like you can get their financial records. Okay, yeah, it says that they were getting hazardous duty pay. Well, why did they get hazardous duty pay? Well, because they were in Mogadishu. Well, okay, so what happened in Mogadishu? Well, they got shot. Okay, how do we know that they got shot and they were treated for it? Well, one, he's got a big gaping scar on his leg.
Right.
Okay, and two, he's got 6 guys that he served with. They had to help carry his butt to the helicopter to evacuate. Okay, so you see, you're building a case just like you would if you were going to a courtroom.
So wait, Chris, are you saying that there's other types of evidence that I could use besides medical records?
Oh, yes. There's all kinds of evidence. You can use medical records, use buddy statements, your personal statement, x-rays, your doctor's, you can do what they call a Nexus letter, stating that this condition was more likely than not created or is a natural progression of what happened in service. You can provide peer group journals, medical journals. I had a guy who had a severe rash that only showed up on his arms and his chest, which is unusual. You think you get a rash all over. Well, come to find out, telling veteran war stories, you talk about scrubbing parts with diesel fuel and cleaning them off. Well, he's getting that diesel fuel splashed all over him. We found an article written by a doctor about the caustic nature of prolonged exposure to diesel fuel on the skin. And now he's 60% for skin conditions.
Yeah.
Had another guy who was a motor pool sergeant. And of course, he applied for PTSD. And they said, well, you've not been in combat. Well, no, he hadn't. but he had to go outside the gate to bring back the vehicles that were blown up by an IED, bring them back, and then they would cannibalize
Right.
parts to keep the fleet going. So that meant he had to clean the inside of the Humvee out.
Right.
Now the Humvee that went out that went out, he played cards with those guys on Friday. When he comes back on Monday, he picks up a boot that still has a foot in it.
Yeah.
You think that sends a message? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sends a message to the raider. So pictures can be helpful in that effect as well.